Tomorrow is a highly anticipated day in the unicameral as lawmakers prepare for debate on the Let Them Grow Act, a bill that would ban certain medical procedures on transgender minors in Nebraska. The controversial bill picked up even more attention after a proposed amendment to it was introduced last week in a last-second effort to add more abortion restrictions in Nebraska. Last month, State Senator Riepe was the reason the legislature fell one vote short of outlawing abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy because he chose not to vote on LB 626, essentially killing that bill. But Senator Ben Hansen introduced an amendment to LB 574, the bill that restricts certain gender-affirming care for minors. And that amendment proposes an abortion ban at 12 weeks gestation. According to the Nebraska Examiner, this would ban abortions at about 9 or 10 weeks after fertilization, outlawing more abortions than Riepe's proposal, which was 12 weeks from fertilization. But it appears that this is a compromise between Riepe and his conservative colleagues. He tells the Nebraska Examiner that this new proposed amendment would provide, quote, some more protection for the unborn. Nebraska currently bans abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood held a virtual press conference today. They say this effort to combine the two issues of transgender care and abortion access is unfair. And they're pointing out another difference in language between this new proposed amendment and Riepe's failed proposal. The new change would not allow exceptions for fetal anomalies. According to the Nebraska Examiner, doctors say patients often don't learn about those health challenges until 18 to 20 weeks into a pregnancy. One woman who spoke today says she made the decision to have an abortion after learning from doctors around 13 weeks of pregnancy that her son would be, quote, incompatible with life.
His entire body was swollen. His heart and lungs were swollen. His intestines were growing on the outside of his body. He had no nasal bone. He had some other deformities. He was suffering, and my husband and I decided that we would go with a termination. It was probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life.
According to the Nebraska Examiner, Senator Hansen says he and other conservatives do not believe that someone should be able to end a life because it's unlikely to live long or at all after being born. We will be following this story tomorrow and bring you the latest from the legislature as it happens. It appears that lawmakers will have to debate and approve this proposed amendment before they can debate and vote on LB 574 itself, which by itself was just one step away from the governor's desk.